inn and found it full of sailors who were chatting merrily. After a brief search, I located the landlord and told him I wished to rent a room.
No rooms left, I'm afraid, said Coffin. But there is one bed left. Would you mind sharing a room with a harpooner?
I did mind, in fact. I minded very much. But the landlord insisted that the harpooner was a decent fellow, and managed to persuade me that sharing a room with a perfect stranger was a much better option than spending the night out in the cold.
So now Ishmael have two options. One is he have to spend the rooms, he have to share the room with the harpooner. Harpooner is also very important character in the novel, and with the passage of time you will find his exact name. Harpooner is a profession, so that's why with the profession he's going to say harpooner. Same is the case in our families. For example, someone is in our family is a doctor, so हम उसे बार बार इसी नाम से बुलाते हैं कि डॉक्टर साहब इधर आए, डॉक्टर साहब इधर गए हैं. तो सेम उसके हार्पूनर के नेम से भी उसको हार्पूनर कह के बुलाया जा रहा है, बट उसका एग्जैक्ट नेम हार्पूनर नहीं है.
Right, I said. I suppose I have no choice.
Good,
said Coffin.
Take a seat in the dining room and I'll bring you some dinner.
Okay, so now there was a conversation between the Coffin, Peter Coffin, who is the owner of the inn, and Ishmael. Both are conversation, both are talking to each other, and they just decided about the rooms.
I said, I suppose I have no choice.
Good,
said Coffin.
Take a seat in the dining room and I'll bring you some dinner.
I made my way to the dining room and sat down at the table with 4 or 5 other sailors. Without delay, Coffin brought us a meal consisting of very generous portions of meat, potatoes, and dumplings. The food was absolutely delicious, and I quickly devoured every last bite.
Okay, so dumpling is just like a soup, and the food was absolutely delicious. Means food was delicious, and I quickly devoured it. Okay, devoured means जैसे आप किसी चीज़ को बहुत enjoy करके खा रहे होते हैं. As he is saying food was delicious, so that's why even our last bite he was just enjoying.
Say, Mr. Coffin, I said as the landlord cleared away my plate, is the harpooner here? Coffin chuckled.
No.
Is the harpooner here? Coffin chuckled.
No, he won't be back till much later. He's out selling his head.
Okay, so chuckled is just like a small laugh, as Coffin is just laughing. Same like that.
His head? I exclaimed. What on earth do you mean?
Okay, so he's saying he's selling his head. Selling his head. Just think about it. He's selling the head. Human heads. That's why Ishmael is really excited. You can say he's really worried about it. What on earth do you mean? Means कि वो आप क्या कह रहे हो कि वो just human heads को यहाँ पे बेचता है, उसका ये business है. तो इश्माइल इस वजह से इतना परेशान हो रहा है और उससे दोबारा से उसने question किए.
Harpooner has just returned from New Zealand, where he collected some human heads,
the landlord explained.
He's managed to sell all of them except one. He has to sell it tonight. It wouldn't be right to try to sell a human head on Sunday morning when people are going to church.
I could hardly believe my ears. Mr. Coffin, are you mad? I shouted. Are you really planning to put me in a room with some savage who's out selling human heads? Coffin grinned.
Okay, so now Ishmael is really very upset and he is disturbed as well because he is going to share his room with the harpooner, and harpooner business is to selling the human heads. So that's why he is saying, are you mad? Are you sure? Are you really planning to be in a room with the same savage? Okay, savage is having no sense, just like a mad person, because he is selling the human heads. That's why. So Coffin grinned. ग्राइंड मीन्स जस्ट लाइक पीसना, किसी चीज़ को ग्राइंड करना, जैसे आप दांत पीस के कोई बात करते हो.
Calm down, young man. Their heads are made of wax.
Okay, so he just cleared the heads are made of wax. They are not the real human heads. They are made of wax.
I assure you that the harpooner poses.
Okay, so anyway, it's almost midnight, and I doubt he will be returning to in tonight. Okay, he is saying, Coffin is saying that I think it's impossible he'll come to in tonight because he has the business. That's why. Let me show you to your room. I'm sure you would like to get some sleep. Okay, so again, Coffin is saying, reluctantly, I followed the landlord up to the staircase to a small room at the end of a narrow passageway. Okay, reluctantly means चाहते हुए और ना चाहते हुए भी, because he's afraid of Harpooner. That's why he was reluctantly follow the coffin towards the room, because he just need the room and he has no money, and that's why he just have to go over there. And outside there was a cold
and two beds. I noticed a bag of clothing on the floor, which I assumed belonged to my roommate. The landlord wished me good night, and I put on my nightwear and went to sleep.
Okay, so same like जैसे ना हॉस्टल और जब कहीं आप किसी और के घर जाते हो या कोई आपका रूम शेयर कर रहा होता है तो वहाँ पे उसकी जो बिलोंगिंग्स हैं, जो उसकी चीज़ें, वो तो वहाँ पे होंगी ना. सो सेम उसने वहाँ पे वो सारी चीज़ें देखी हैं. सो ही थॉट the belongings of harpooners. That's why he just wear the nightwear and went to sleep.
I was awakened an hour or so later by the sound of the door opening.
Okay, so he just awake by the sound of the door. So what do you think? Who will be here? I think the harpooner is came back.
The harpooner had returned. I decided to remain perfectly still and not say a word until my roommate noticed me.
Okay, so he just decided he will remain perfectly alright. Means he is afraid. For example, you're in a darkness or in a afraid moment, you are going to shout. You are going to shout, but he is planning. He will not say even a single word.
The harpooner was a huge man, holding a candle in one hand and a scarily lifelike head in the other. I watched him as he placed the candle on the floor and opened a large canvas bag, from which he removed an axe and a wallet.
Okay, so just noticing the character of the harpooner, and the second thing, the different things he is holding in his hand, axe and wallet. Okay, so why Ishmael is just noticing in his hand whatever he has, the weapons, for example, axe and wallet and different things, because he is still afraid. As Coffin has said, he is just making the he's selling the heads of that is made of wax, but he's still afraid, and that's why he was noticing the axe.
Then he put the head in the bag and closed it.
Okay, the light from the candle was weak.
See his face. His skin appeared to be yellowish purple in color, and his cheeks